All right. Good evening, everybody. It's me. Welcome back to Unfiltered with Jacob. I'm your host. And as of this morning, the New York City mayoral election is between Eric Adams, Andrew Cuomo, and Zoran Mamdani and Curtis Sliwa, right? A guy who nobody's ever heard of. But this morning, Eric Adams dropped out of the race because of the threat of Cuomo, Curtis, and Adams splitting the vote and letting Mamdani win, right? So Adams dropped out, hoping that all of his votes would go to Cuomo and would beat Mamdani, even if Curtis doesn't want to drop out. But I want to go look at something while we do that. Let's go down to the polling. Here it is. So here is the aggregate polling. This is from Decision Desk HQ and Real Clear Politics. And Real Clear is a conservative, so that should tell you something. Now, if you look at both of the polls on here, Andrew Cuomo, it doesn't say it anymore, but Eric Adams was at 8% on both of these polls. Cuomo was at 26% on these polling, and Zoran's at 44%. Now, this isn't even counting Curtis, who's going to gain votes from Adams. Let's say you took Adams' 8% and you added it to Cuomo's 26%, a unified anti-Zoran, anti-Mamdani coalition. And this isn't even counting Curtis. This isn't even counting him. Let's say he dropped out and all of his polling was eliminated. If you took Adams and Cuomo's campaign and you put them together, they are still 10 points behind Zoran. They're still 10 points behind Mamdani. That's about 30. That's about 36%. That's still about 8 points behind Mamdani. So Eric Adams drops out thinking, oh, ho, well, you know what? We really got Mamdani now. Now we have a unified coalition because Curtis isn't going to change anything ever. Now we have a unified coalition against Mamdani. Mamdani doesn't care. No, he doesn't care because Eric never stood a chance anyway. And Eric giving his, and let's say and this is 10%, 10 points behind Zoran at most, because a lot of Adams's votes are going to go to Curtis. So Adams dropping out, let me tell you something, Eric. That changed absolutely nothing for Mamdani. You didn't hurt him in the slightest. Because New Yorkers are sick of you and Cuomo corrupting that great city. They're sick of it. And people want somebody like Mamdani to come in and fix the system. Let's see what Mamdani had to say about all of it. Let's see what he had to say on Democracy Now!
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
New York Mayor Eric Adams has announced he's dropping out of the race just over a month before Election Day. In recent weeks, President Trump and New York business leaders pressured Adams to drop out of the race in an effort to help boost the campaign of disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent. Polls show Cuomo is well behind New York Assembly member Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic socialist who shocked the political establishment in June when he defeated Cuomo in the Democratic mayoral primary. There have been reports Adams might drop out ever since he met with one of President Trump's closest advisors, Steve Witkoff, in Florida earlier this month.
The New York Times reports President Trump has considered offering Mayor Adams and Republican mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa positions in his administration to clear the field to help Cuomo, including in Adams' case, possibly making him ambassador to Saudi Arabia.
That's crazy. I mean, that's literally bribery. Trump is literally bribing Curtis and Adams to drop out and help Cuomo. That's crazy. What? That's not legal. Insanity. Absolute insanity.
Sliwa said recently he was even offered money to drop out.
Bribery.
Well, today we're joined by the man President Trump does not want to become mayor of New York. That's right, Zohran Mamdani. He's in our studio to talk about this breaking news and more. Zohran Mamdani, welcome back to Democracy Now! It's great to have you with us. Respond. The significance of Adams dropping out of the race. Does this surprise you?
You know, it is something that has been rumored for quite some time that this would be the month, this would be the week, this would be the day. And today we've finally seen it. Yet it is also an encapsulation of so much of what has characterized Eric Adams' mayoralty, is decisions at the behest of Donald Trump and his billionaire donors and at the expense of working class New Yorkers. And what we see in this moment is very much what we saw the day we started this campaign on October 23rd. A necessity to finally stand up to the days of big money and small ideas being what characterizes City Hall, and instead delivering for the very working class New Yorkers that are being priced out of that same city.
Well, let's go to what Eric Adams had to say in a 9-minute video message announcing his decision to drop out. New York Mayor Eric Adams did not mention you, Zohran, or Andrew Cuomo by name, but he said this, which has been viewed as criticism of your campaign.
Major.
All right. I don't have time to watch all that tonight. I just got off from phone banking from Zoran, and I don't have time to watch the 9-minute Eric Adams and then the 5 more minutes from Amy and Zoran. Make sure you go watch Democracy Now! Right? Don't stick around on like MSNBC, CNN, these corporate news networks. Go watch some real journalism at Democracy Now! Or ProPublica or whatever you want to go check out. Free Speech TV. I love Free Speech TV. Anyway, Adams, nothing happened. Absolutely nobody cares that you dropped out. You had 8% in the polls. You had less than Curtis Sliwa, and I didn't know that was possible. So you've changed absolutely nothing. Mamdani's still going to blow Curtis and Cuomo out of the water. Good night.